Hello everyone, I am Chef Christy and thank you so much for coming to my channel today where I share delicious recipes every single week. So make sure that you subscribe and you will also want to hit that little notification bell, then you will know as soon as I upload a new video. Okay, now today I'm sharing another healthy recipe and oh my goodness, it is a good one. I have been waiting to make this one for you guys. I'm so excited. I want to share with you how to make a baked spaghetti squash. Yes, I'm going to be using a spaghetti squash. Now this is so delicious and nutritious. If you have never used a spaghetti squash, I'm excited to show you just how to cook it. There are several options. I'm actually going to be roasting mine in the oven, but once you cook it, the inside of it just shreds like spaghetti, and it is so good. It's such a good alternative to pasta. It's lower in carbs, lower in calories. So let me show you how to do it. So the squash that I'm using today is not quite 2 pounds, and it's about a 2 serving size of a squash. Now your cook time will vary depending on the size of squash that you have. And I'm going to be roasting mine in the oven and I will show you just how to do that. Now I do want to also tell you just a little bit of the nutritional facts of a spaghetti squash. So the wonderful thing about the spaghetti squash is that in 1 cup, it only contains 31 calories and 7 grams of carbohydrates. So if you are watching your carbs, this is a good option for you. Now it is also loaded with vitamins and minerals, has vitamin C and vitamin K. It has a high concentration of manganese, which is linked to bone health. It also has iron and calcium and potassium. So this is a nutrient-dense vegetable. So good. So I'm going to be roasting mine in the oven today. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. And it is not the most easiest thing to cut, so be warned. But just take your time, wiggle your knife. Do not cut yourself. And I'm going to cut it in half lengthwise. Okay, once you have got it cut in half, and then I'm just going to take a spoon and I'm just going to scoop out the insides here where the seeds are. And now I'm going to place my spaghetti squash here on a sheet tray that I've lined and sprayed with aluminum foil. I'm going to drizzle each half with a little olive oil. Then I'm going to sprinkle it with some pepper. And I'm going to sprinkle with some salt. Then I'm going to turn these over and place them cut side down into a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes or until I can just take a knife and it goes clean in and out easily. So while my spaghetti squash is in the oven roasting, this gives me time to make a sauce. And I am keeping it simple today, people. Literally, I'm just going to take this jar of pasta sauce, this organic tomato basil sauce that I found at Whole Foods, and I'm just combining it with some very lean ground beef. Now that is important. You will want to find the leanest ground beef that you can find. Or you can use ground turkey or ground chicken, or if you want to keep it meatless, just get your favorite jar of pasta sauce and just use that. And it would be just great. So literally, I'm just combining these 2 ingredients to make my sauce. Okay, here is a little tip. Once you add your sauce and you have some of this extra liquid, this water, you want to let this cook until that cooks out. You want your sauce to be really, really nice and thick. Now into this pasta sauce, here's a really good trick that you can know that most of your liquid is absorbed out. Just going to push this back, and as you can see, there's no, well, not very much of the liquid. It's pretty much evaporated out, and that is what you want. Well, let's do a test and see if this is done. You should be able to stick your knife into it and it to come out smoothly. So once your spaghetti squash has come out of the oven, I like to turn them over, cut side up, and let them cool slightly. Now, I want to show you a little trick. Spaghetti squash is made up of a lot of water. So what I want to do is remove some of that excess liquid so that I'm not left with a soupy spaghetti squash. So this is how I do it. I take a large bowl and then a strainer, and then I just take some paper towels, and I just line my strainer with these paper towels. And then I'm going to shred my spaghetti squash into this strainer. But you will need a nice clean hand towel because these are still steaming hot, and a fork. So I'm just going to grab this spaghetti squash, and then I'm just going to start shredding this into my colander here with the paper towel. And as you can see, you see these shreds, they're just like spaghetti. That's why they call it spaghetti squash. But I want to get all of them out. So once you remove all of the insides of your spaghetti squash, you are left with this nice little serving bowl, and this is what I will be using today. But first, what I want to do is I'm going to take this spaghetti squash and I'm just going to kind of gather it up in my paper towels, and I'm just going to squeeze. I want to try to remove any excess liquid that may be in there. All right. And this is kind of what you're left with, just a nice ball, but it'll flake back up. Okay, so now I'm going to take these cute little serving bowls and I'm going to fill them with the spaghetti squash, some cheese, and then the delicious sauce. But let me give you just a little tip. I like to take just some shredded mozzarella and kind of put it in my bowl, the bottom of my bowl first. And then I'm also going to take some grated Parmesan cheese. Then I'm just going to take some of the spaghetti squash and put right on top. All right, so I'm going to layer this. So now I'm going to add a little bit of sauce. Okay, so now I'm going to take these cute little bowls of goodness. They're already so beautiful, and I'm going to place them in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. We just want them to get hot and bubbly. They are so good. I cannot wait for you to try this recipe. Dun dun dun! Delicious and beautiful baked spaghetti squash in its own little serving bowl. And now I've got some fresh basil here that's already chopped, and I'm just going to go ahead and just sprinkle some of that right over the top. Just give it some nice color and added flavor. So before I dive in with my fork, I just want to say another reason why I really like doing spaghetti squash this way is because I end up with some extra sauce. Now this is for those in your family who may not be willing or they don't want to try spaghetti squash. You can have some extra sauce that you can make some spaghetti noodles for them, and then you can have your own little serving bowl of spaghetti squash. So I'm going to give this a go. Oh yeah. Cheesy goodness. I mean, I don't really know what's not to like about that. That is amazing. Tastes like baked spaghetti. Well, I really hope that you give this recipe a try. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with more recipes.